Welcome to Building with MC. This is a series where I'm going to teach y'all how to build better. Today we're focusing on shapes, so let's jump immediately in. Most of y'all probably still build houses like rectangles or boxes. This is okay, but if you want to vary your builds more and make them more interesting, then use multiple shapes. These could be connecting cubes, rectangular boxes, and maybe even cylinders, but let's start at the beginning, shall we? So most of you build boxes without any depths. To change that, let's start small. They're built by using overhangs and windows. Like here, I made a little overhang and the building immediately gets a more interesting look to it. Same as with these windows here over on the left side of the screen. You could do windows in many different ways, and I'll show you two of my favorites. One with window shutters on the side, and the other one with a little overhang on the top. Now let's move on to more complex shapes. First of all, to make a building look more interesting, it must almost never consist out of one shape. It's best if you use multiple shapes. So let me show you 3 examples. Here's the first one. It's still pretty simple, but already add depth into the build. This expands more on this. Now we don't just have 2 shapes pushed against each other, but some smaller shapes as well, which could represent the front door sticking out a bit more. Third example. This puts even more interest into the building by adding a cylinder into the structure. The cylinder could be used for a tower or even a windmill. All this can make your build more interesting and have more depth. If you want to go even further, then you could make the second floor stick out a block. This mainly is used for medieval castles and buildings. And building, make your builds angled. Here are some examples of this. I am going to show you this on screen, a picture, because I'm not good at building with angles myself. Let's first start off with a 0-degree angle, which is the simplest angle, which is normal building. A 12-degree angle with a step every 5 blocks. A 15-degree angle with a step every 4 blocks. Then a 20-degree angle with a step every 3 blocks. And then a 26-degree angle with a step every 2 blocks. And then a 33-degree angle with a step every 2 blocks. And leave 1 block in between every step. Then a 45-degree angle with a step every block, which is also pretty simple. Then a 57-degree angle with a step every 2 blocks, and again leave 1 block in between. Then a 64-degree angle with a step every 2 blocks again. Then a 70-degree angle with a step every 3 blocks. A 75-degree angle with a step every 4 blocks. And a 78-degree angle with 5 blocks. These last ones are for the more challenging people. Of course, not the only things you can do to make your builds more interesting. So next up is roofs. Roofs are difficult to make in Minecraft, but I'll show you some interesting shapes and forms. We have a gable roof. This is a roof almost everyone uses. We have a name frame. And a gambrel. I might pronounce some of these wrong, but this is a clerestory. Pitched. And a simple curved roof. A salt box with a lower pitch. Then an M-shaped roof. Then the weirdest one of the bunch, a mansard. A butterfly roof. You'll probably not use, but good to be mentioned. So that was it for today. Now I can probably build buildings with more depth and interesting shapes. See you next time. And also, I'll add this video to a course and I'll show you some pictures for the angled building and roofs on screen. As well, don't forget to subscribe and like. I'll see you next time.